Do you have a passion for fashion and the environment? Well, then you need to take a trip down to Main Street, Hyannis to visit Shift. Owners Amy Dufault and Amanda Converse have opened up an eco-friendly boutique.
I had met Amanda about a year ago, and she loved the idea of what I was, that I was doing a lot of like eco-fashion writing. And then I started to help out. Well, once the recession hit, I had a lot of designers who needed help getting rid of inventory. So I started this thing called Sample Sale. And I went around to local businesses that had something that was organic, whether it was the food or they were doing yoga. There's something kind of mind, body, wholeness, whatever. So anyways, I picked these places. I had about 14, 15 sample sales and invited all these, local women to come and shop. And they loved it, and they wanted to know all about the fabrics, and they thought there was nothing like this around the Cape. And for the very first one, Amanda actually hosted at the Island Merchant.
The environment has always been a passion of mine, and I sort of credit growing up on Cape Cod as being the reason as why. And fashion's always been my second love. It's just a way of kind of expressing myself. And when I found out through my studying how detrimental the clothing industry is to the natural environment, I sort of had a crisis, and that's when I discovered eco-fashion. And it was, at that time, the market was very small, and I've just been following it ever since, and now it's so much larger than it was at that time.
As I started writing more and more, I started learning how wasteful the fashion industry was. They have so much extra clothing, and nobody will buy it even when it's like 75% off. The only thing that they can do is like burn it. So they just throw it away, they just get rid of it. So recently H&M kind of slashed and burned some clothing, and that made the news. The denim industry is one of the most harmful industries going because of all the dyes and the cotton that's used for denim.
This shirt is designed by Taylor Brown, who goes by the name Fisherman's Daughter. She grew up in Chatham, and she lives there now and has a studio there. And it is made from organic and recycled fibers. So the shirt itself is organic cotton, and then the detailing is made from old fabric that she reused. Right now, the industry is very organic cotton heavy, so a lot of our clothing is organic cotton, but there are a lot of fabrics that are being developed now. There's tencel and modal, which is fabric made from wood pulp that's left over from the paper making process. There's also bamboo, and there's a company in Boston that's actually making yarn out of bamboo. They're developing a process so that it's actually made in the U.S. and not in China. A lot of bamboo comes out of China, which can be not so bad, but when we're thinking about a carbon footprint, the fabric coming from so far away is kind of defeating the purpose.
I think for many years, we Americans have gotten used to fast fashion and disposable fashion, and that's been encouraged by Walmart and Target and Kohl's and all these other big box stores, things that aren't made really well, and we don't know where they're from, we don't know who's being paid to make them. But like in this store, we know almost every single designer in here. We have a relationship with them. We know what they've gone through to create what they've created. They've made pieces that are of quality. They'll withstand the test of time with the way that they are stitched. I know a lot of designers right now it's a wave right now of trying to create things that are timeless and not so trendy, because they can, their pieces will just last longer in your closet.
This is a necklace that's been that was made using vintage pieces. So all of the beading and the flowers were collected by a woman who makes jewelry. She's out of Boston, and she just reworks it and modernizes vintage pieces. When we started this venture, I didn't expect to be able to use local people at all. you don't really think of Cape Cod as a fashion mecca, but but now that we opened the store and all of the people that have kind of come into our lives, there are so many amazingly creative people on this island, and I expect that we'll be finding a lot more.